At the bottom of the sixth inning, still 6-5 Georgia Tech as Jackson Rose, who tossed a 1-2-3 inning in the fifth, remains out there for North Carolina. Brocious, Curse, and Burris, 9-1 and 2 of the order due up against the left-hander from North Carolina. Alongside Dan Kortz, I'm Paul Roper. We thank you for joining us throughout the week and for today's championship game here in Uptown Charlotte as the weather has cooperated as best as it could, especially today. As the rain has stayed away, just lots of clouds here, but it's made for perhaps a comfortable afternoon. Temperatures were very hot earlier in the week. Right now they've settled to the low to mid 70s here for this championship game. As Parker Brocious will step up to the plate for Georgia Tech. First pitch to the righty batter is in there for a called strike on the inside quarter across the knees. A 90-mile-an-hour sinker makes it 0-1. 3 on the left side of the diamond against Brocious. 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. 0-1 on the way from Rose. Swain in a ground ball hit towards the mound, picked up by Rose, turns around and throws to first in time to retire Brocious for the first out in the home half of the sixth inning. Now 4 up and 4 down against Jackson Rose. Back to the top of the order for Carson Curse. Curse is 1 for 2. By a pitch the last time he stepped up in the fourth inning. Ran the left side of the diamond against the righty batter. First pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. Carolina bullpen is quiet. Georgia Tech bullpen is not. Double barrel action with the righty Patel and the lefty Underwood. 1-0 on the way to Curse. High and away, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. 6-5 Georgia Tech lead, bottom 6. Wind in the 2-0 from Rose. Low ball 3. Hitters count for Curse. 3 balls, no strikes. Rose with the wind, 3-0 to Curse. Takes all the way for ball 4. None of those pitches were close. So Curse draws the 1-out walk. And here comes Drew Burris. 2 for 3 on the day, was called out on strikes his last time up. Hit a 2-run homer during a 5-run third inning that put him all alone on the top of the all-time home run chart for Georgia Tech, his 58th homer of his career. Move past Jason Varitek on their all-time list. First pitch to Burris is swung on and hit down the left field line. That will drop in for a fair ball. Rolled towards the wall. Hustling towards third is Curse as it's picked up in the corner by Howe and thrown back in quickly. And over at second with a double is Drew Burris. So he's now a triple shy of the cycle. And the Yellow Jackets have runners at second and third. 1 out for Advincula.
Good piece of hitting there by Burris. A pitch a little bit in, and he just turns on it. Knocks it into the left field corner.
Burris, as you said, a great piece of hitting here now. North Carolina with the infield pulled all the way in. Trying to cut Curse off from third base. And we're going to see Coach Ramsey have a chat with Jaron Advincula. He also wants to bring in his base runners, Burris and Curse.
As good strategy there, and I think North Carolina expecting with the bunting ability, the hitting abilities of Advincula in general, but knowing that he can just simply lay down a bunt, wanting to go home no matter what. They also got to be aware of a squeeze play with Carson Curse at third base with some wheels.
As that happens, a right-hander is starting to get loose in North Carolina's bullpen.
I believe it is Matthew Mateus.
We saw Mateus yesterday as well. The conference is over as Advincula gets ready to step up here. He's 1 for 3 on the ball game. Had a bunt single back in the third inning and later scored a run off the bases clearing double by Hernandez. 6-5 Georgia Tech, bottom 6. Runners at second and third, 1 out. The infield pulled all the way in for North Carolina. The outfield straightaway against the lefty hitting Advincula. As he fouls off the first pitch, 0-1. Advincula, a .433 hitter, entered the day as hitter with the second best average in all of Division I. Transfer from Cal in his first year on the flats with Georgia Tech. Behind in the count, 0-1. Rose is set at the letters, and the one-strike pitch at Vincula shows bunt, pulls it back, and the pitch is outside for a ball, 1-1. Burris at second, Kearse at third. For Burris, that is his 22nd double of the season. Not close to being the team leader in that. It actually belongs to the man standing at third, and Kearse with 28. As 1-1 is lifted in the air to right field. Kellis in front of the warning track makes the catch. Runners tag up from second and third, and coming in to score easily is Kearse as the ball gets thrown towards the shortstop Schaffner. So Advincula gets the job done with a sac fly to right field as Georgia Tech gets their 7th run of the game and now lead by 2, 7-5.
Nicely hit ball and more than deep enough to get the speedy Kearse home.
Nice piece of hitting there by Advincula. And now 2 outs. Burris over to third, and here's Vaughn Lackey. 1 for 2 in the ball game. He singled and scored in the third. First pitch to the righty hitting Lackey is inside, 1-0. 3 on the left side of the diamond against Lackey. The ACC's Defensive Player of the Year. His batting average is back to the Atlanta area code of .404. One-0 to Lackey. And a changeup on the outside corner across the knees for a strike, 1-1. Let's go Jacket chants from the fans that are outnumbered, but still in full force here. 1-1 is grounded past the diving third baseman Nicholson and into left field for a base hit. Stepping on home plate to score is Burris. And Vaughn Lackey comes through with a 2-out single that he was able to shoot right through the shift past the diving Nicholson at third. And Georgia Tech is back up by 3. It's 8-5 Yellow Jackets in the 6th.
Georgia Tech with some answers after North Carolina clawed their way to get to within 1 run, and then obviously the top of the order for Georgia Tech always can make damage.
Lackey's 75th RBI of the year. He's now tied for the team lead with this man up at the plate, Ryan Zuckerman. He got his 75th RBI emphatically. A leadoff homer in the second inning that landed on Min Street, his 23rd round tripper of the year. They're over to first, Lackey back in safely. Now Rose to the plate, and Zuckerman swings through an off-speed pitch as he got ahead of it for a strike, 0-1. After that leadoff homer by Zuckerman in the second, he struck out. In his next 2 turns at bat, he's 1 for 3. Here's the 0-1, inside for a ball, and the count even at a ball and a strike to Zuckerman.
And I briefly, when I had stepped away, was able to go to the bottom level, basically from where we are. The half going down the third base side, blue and gold. The other half, the Carolina blue.
1-1, swung on and missed, 1-2. Well, a lot of Carolina blue to be found, but
with
still,
some sprinkled throughout, yes,
yep,
throughout both sides.
But again, the Georgia Tech fans with good numbers here, despite essentially being outnumbered in the home state of North Carolina.
And fans of both sides online for anything ranging from refreshments and 6-packs of soda. As
1-2 the count to Zuckerman. That's inside for ball 2, 2-2. But again, I would say that it's either a 70-30 or a 65-35 split, Carolina over Georgia Tech.
65-35, I think, is a very on-the-mark assessment.
2-2 the count, and the pitch on the way from Rose, and Zuckerman reaches for it and pops this one out to right field. On the track to make the catch is Kellis. Well, Zuckerman did not get all of that one, but he still got it all the way to the track to right field. But still plenty of room for Kellis to make the catch and retire the Yellow Jackets here in the 6th inning. And the Yellow Jackets do score a pair of runs. They do it off 2 hits and leave one on. We head to the 7th inning with the new score, Georgia Tech 8 and North Carolina 5.